thanks for joining us on another episode of Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Tammy Benson is our dedicated animal wrangler, and making her job easy today is Batman. Batman is one of the many kittens that we have available for adoption right now. He came from a litter of 4, and he is the last of the litter to be adopted. He is approximately 4 months old now. He's just initially a little shy, but then he warms up and wants to cuddle and play and things like that. So mostly your average kitten, but can be a little nervous in new situations, loud noises, things like that. I have taken him to one event that was an outdoor event, and initially he's hiding underneath his blanket, kind of looking for a safe zone, and then he opened up and was starting to interact with people who were coming up to his cage and things like that. So he's going to make a great pet, but just initially up front, a little patience will go a long way with him. All of our kittens will be adopted for a fee of $97.50. That covers getting them spayed or neutered, getting them rabies vaccinated, getting their distemper vaccines, deworming, flea and tick preventative, microchipping, and a well visit to the vet. You cannot beat that price. If you find a stray kitten somewhere, it's going to cost you way more to get all of those medical things taken care of for your new animal. Again, there's tons of kittens to choose from, so if you're looking for a specific color, you're looking for multiple, you want 2, we have all kinds of kittens that are looking for forever homes here at Animal Control. You can visit them here Monday through Saturday. Our visiting hours are going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Friday from 10 to 5, Wednesday and Thursday from 12 to 8, and Saturday from 10 to 4. Our next cat is Zaid, and Zaid is a little bit older. He's about 1 to 2 years old, and he is also a little bit shy. He was a cat that started out as a purple card in our Frady Cat program, and he is working his way out of that program. He's moved from that purple card up to a yellow card. He's definitely come a long way since he arrived in late June here at the shelter. He went on the adoption floor in about the 15th of July, so we gave him a little bit of time to kind of warm up to shelter life and things like that. Behind the scenes a little bit here, he is now, not hiding under his bed. He's coming out and asking for attention. He wants to have his head rubbed. He'll, give you some little headbutts and things like that. He's becoming quite talkative and letting you know, hey, don't forget me, I'm here, I want some attention as well. He's also shown himself to be a bit of a social eater, so when somebody's hanging out with him, petting him, he'll start to eat his food. That happens a lot here. Some cats are just like that, and some animals it's just environmental. They're stressed and they need a little bit of companionship and encouragement to feel safe enough to eat and things like that. When he gets into a new home, he will likely revert a little bit back to his fearful Frady cat ways, and then he just is going to need an owner who is going to be very patient with him, not forceful, kind of letting him say when he's ready to expand his territory or to try new things. You might not want to, these aren't the cats that you want to pick up right away. You want to give them a little time to sniff you, pet them a couple times for a few minutes, and kind of then ease into those types of things. If you were looking for cats like Zaid, who are a little bit shyer, you might look for having some a little bit older children in the home. It's not that a shy cat can't do well with young kids, but young kids tend to be louder. They have louder toys. They don't necessarily understand cat body language and those social cues as well. Zaid is settling in, and if you want to get a chance to get to know him further, you can always visit him here at the shelter. Our address is 1832 Rosemont Avenue. This is Imp, and right now we are in a mythical creatures naming convention phase. So Imp is one of the mythical creatures that was apparently our staff found. So that's how he got his name. He is another one of our kittens. He's a little bit older. He's about 5 to 6 months old. So starting to develop more of a personality that's going to be fixed with him for the rest of his life, but still has plenty of, mischievous kitten energy left in him. So If you're not sure if you really, really want a teeny tiny kitten, but you still, kind of want to experience a little bit of that phase, then one of our older kittens might be a good option for you. He will be neutered just as we do all the cats and dogs and rabbits. They'll all be spayed or neutered before they leave. He's going to be, brought up to date with all of his various vaccinations, so that he'll be ready to start fresh in his new home. He is new to the adoption floor. Not all of our kittens go into foster care when they arrive to the shelter and they make their weight. And they are old enough, then they can go straight onto the adoption floor rather than spending time in a foster home. So we're still learning about him as our staff interacts with him during their daily, cleaning his cage and things like that, showing him to potential adopters. It's just a constant growing process. For right now, he seems to be, a typical kitten. He will come up and, ask for attention and wants to play, accepting of, various types of love, whether it's be, you holding him or you're petting him. So he's just an average, typical, kitten, but still high energy. So expecting, lots of playtime and running around and pouncing and things like that. With any kitten that you're going to take home and make part of your family. And the adoption fee for our cats and kittens is $97.50. If you have any questions, you can always call before making a visit to the shelter. Our phone number here is going to be 301-600-1546. Our next guest is one of the many bonded pairs or better together pairs that we have. Some people are looking to take home two cats, and it's always a lot easier when you're taking home two that already know each other. It can make that transition a little bit easier, especially because they have someone that they're familiar with, that they know, to kind of keep them company and make them feel safe in a new environment. These guys are Scooter, who is with Tammy. He is the male. He's a red, tabby, and white. And then Luna is over here with me. She's Cream. And they are about 3 years old. They came in together, and they really genuinely enjoy each other's company. They get upset when they're separated. Even just right now, they can still see each other. But Scooter is crying, and he wants to, he's nervous, and he wants to be with Luna, and she's kind of trying to make her way over to him so that they can both feel safe and secure. They are color-coded differently. In the cage, it seems a little bit counterintuitive. So because Scooter is the one that's color-coded yellow, which is shy, and he's the one that's always like out in the front of his cage, doing things like that. But right now, in a new environment, he's definitely showing that he is the much shyer of the two. Luna likes to sleep underneath her bed, so I think that's just how she likes to sleep. I don't think that she's necessarily afraid. When you stop and visit with her and you lift the bed up, she comes right out for attention and pets and things like that, and she's definitely showing herself to be a bit more confident out here in a new place. She has a super loud purr, which is just really great. They're both soft, they're both very friendly and affectionate, and they are going to make a great addition to any household. If these two guys aren't what you're looking for, we have Raven and Onyx, are her two 1-year-old females that are black and white. We have Noelle and Leon, who are also 2 years old, and they are, male and female, brother and sister. We have a whole slew of animals that are comfortable with one another if you're looking to add two to your family. This is Shamu, and he is one of our long-term residents. He's been with us since March, and he still hasn't found his perfect forever home. So what you're noticing there, if you saw him jump, he heard a loud noise, and Shamu does not like loud noises, so that's why he reacted that way. He's a very outgoing cat. He's very friendly. He's very playful, but he does not like loud noises, as a lot of cats don't. And now he's in a strange environment out here, not where his cage traditionally is, and he's hearing noises, so it's spooking him a little bit. He also is very kind of stubborn and opinionated, and he wants to do what he wants to do. He doesn't necessarily like to be restrained. I think my personal observations are a good home for Shamu will be one that's going to spend a lot of time playing with him, allowing him to run around, engaging him in active play so he kind of wears himself down a little bit, and just kind of lets him be a little bit more independent. He likes attention, but he is here in the shelter. I've seen him more often than not look for somebody to play with him, not sit and pet him and pick him up and carry him around and things like that. Initially, he was a purple card because he can have a little bit of a short fuse, but as he's acclimated, he's definitely warming up, and now he's a green card. So just that go, go, go kind of fidgety when you're trying to restrain him, that type of a thing. He has a very sweet personality. He just needs to get out of a cage and into a home where he has some room to move around. Because he can be a little bit aggressive in his play style, really small children I wouldn't necessarily recommend. Some older kids who can understand maybe not to use their hands as a toy and not try to pick him up and carry him up awkwardly. A diet would also benefit Shamu. He grew into his name. He was adopted from us as a kitten, but he's weighing in at about 15 pounds, so a little bit of diet along with the exercise that he already enjoys would benefit him greatly. If you're interested in making the handsome Shamu part of your family, you can visit him here at 1832 Rosemont Avenue. We hope that you enjoyed meeting these few adoptable cats. After the break, we're going to introduce you to a couple more adoptable cats and a handful of dogs that are looking for forever homes as well.
Getting your flu vaccine is the best way to prevent getting the flu and possible complications from the flu. People most susceptible to the flu include children 5 years old or younger, people 65 years or older, pregnant women, people with health issues such as asthma, diabetes, and heart disease, and people who take medication that might weaken the immune system. If you have the flu or want to avoid getting the flu, here are some pointers. Cover your cough and sneeze with your arm, or use a tissue and wash your hands. Wash your hands with soap and water. If not available, use a hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Avoid being around sick people. Stay home from school or work if you are sick until you are free of a fever for 24 hours. Contact your healthcare provider if you are sick. To learn more about the flu, please call the Health Department Flu Information Line at 301-600-3035 or visit frederickcountymd.gov/flu.
The Frederick County Sheriff's Office now offers fingerprinting services 3 days per week, from Tuesday through Thursday. Our goal is to make it more convenient for citizens to have fingerprints taken for employment, licenses, permits, and other important issues like adoption and child care services. The Sheriff's Office will continue to accept credit and debit cards, checks, and money orders as payment for fingerprint fees. Cash is not accepted. For more information, contact the Fingerprint Information Line at 301-600-4058.
Child abuse is not an isolated problem. It affects each of us, and it is only through each of us that child abuse can be prevented. Get involved. Call the Child Advocacy Center to find out how to help. 301-600-1758.
Welcome back. First up, we're going to show two more cats. Our cat population is a little high right now, not overwhelmingly so, but it's kitten season, so we have a lot to choose from if you're looking to add a feline to your home. This cat that we have is another one of our kind of petite adult cats. Her name is Kelpie, and she is approximately 1 year old. She came to us as a stray, so we're judging that based on her teeth, her overall condition, things like that. She's color-coded shy, but she's definitely not as shy as some of the other ones. She's not a fraidy cat or anything like that. What I've discovered about Kelpie is that you usually hear her before you see her. She has a very interesting meow when you're out on the adoption floor, and you're kind of like, where is that coming from? And because she kind of sits behind her hammock, you don't really see her, but you're trying to figure out where that's coming from. Once you kind of approach her, she's very friendly. She just doesn't always want to make the first move. So, I brought her out here. I picked her up. She was super cool with that. She's very petite, so she's light and cuddly, and put her on Tammy's lap, and right away she just, spinning around, rubbing all over her, trying to show her where she likes to be petted. She's not really trying to get down. She's just looking around, getting lots of love. So, that's going to make her a great addition to any household. A cat that just wants to be loved on is generally what people are looking for. I think that she has some maybe lap cat potential there. Hopefully she'll get adopted soon, but because she is in one of those bottom cages and her color kind of matches the stainless steel cages she's housed in, you really kind of have to look for her. She's easy to miss. If you want somebody to, point her out for you, don't be afraid to ask the staff or the volunteers working on the cat floor. If you want to visit Kelpie, you can do that by stopping here at the shelter. Our address is 1832 Rosemont Avenue, and we are open Monday through Saturday. The last cat that we have for you today is Precious. She is one of our brown tabbies. She is about 3 years old. She came to us previously owned. Like a lot of the cats, the owner just said that they could no longer afford to take care of her. She got her as a gift. When we're talking about pets as gifts, that's not really recommended. The situation wasn't, she wasn't bringing her to us because she got this animal as a gift. She kept it for 3 years. But while it does bring up the subject of pets as gifts. So if you're looking to do that, you want to maybe say you'll sponsor the adoption fee for a friend or a family member, get them pet supplies when they're when they've actually picked out a pet. When you're doing pets as gifts, sometimes it's the wrong type of breed, the wrong energy level, the personality doesn't match, they could be allergic, they can't afford it. So there's a lot of things that pop up. So it's best to avoid that type of scenario. Precious herself has lived in a home with other cats. She actually, I believe, came in with another animal. She's been around children, strangers. She's listed as calm, able to handle, independent, playful, energetic, friendly. Right away, the first thing that I've noticed about her is that she's a talker. She wants to have a conversation, and in between her various meows, she's also purring. So she's just vocal on all fronts. The previous owner says she loves to be loved, and she was okay with being picked up and carried, and she's just talking the whole time. I don't necessarily know that it was telling anyone that she didn't like it. She just is chatty. Even now, sitting on a lap, she seems perfectly relaxed. She's just kind of observing what's going on in the room, but she's not trying to get down, and she's still doing that chatty thing. Because she has previously lived with other cats, if you're looking to add her to a home where there's existing pets, she might be a good fit for you. Again, on the bottom cage, so it's best to make sure you're looking for her because she's not at eye level. Sometimes she can be easily missed. The first dog we have for you today is aptly named. This is Tank, and he's a big tank of a dog. He is an 8-year-old blue and white American Staffordshire Terrier mix. He looks like he's a big bruiser, but he's actually a big baby. He is known for whining in his kennel when he wants attention. He is just big. He may look intimidating, but that's not really his personality. He snorts like a pig, he drools a little bit, but he's basically just a softie at heart. He was previously owned. He's 8 years old and has been with that family for the majority of his life. He was brought to the shelter because they said they no longer had the time or the ability to care for him. He was purchased from a breeder. He lived with another dog, so he does get along with other dogs. And he has lived with 6 kids under the age of 6, I think it says. So he's used to being around children. They didn't say that there were any issues with the children, so he would be a good family dog as well. With any types of dogs that you're adding to your home, or any animals period, however, you do want to make sure that your kids understand that the dogs and the cats, all the pets have their own feelings, things they like and dislike. They are not toys to be played with. They are not pillows and couches. They shouldn't be ridden, sat on, all that type of stuff. And just making sure that the children in the home understand and respect the animal's space and things like that. It says that he's a chewer, he's playful, walks well on a leash, rides well in the car. He likes ropes and ball toys. He can guard tennis balls, so those are not something that you want to give to him. He knows basic commands and hand signals. Our behavior assessment of him says that he's friendly, keeps his kennel clean, reacts favorably to other dogs. For the most part, he pulls, but that's just because he's strong and he weighs 75 pounds. He doesn't really want to give up the tennis balls, but he will trade with a treat. He likes to be petted. He is currently being treated for a skin infection, so you want to make sure that you're able to keep up with those treatments for him if that's still ongoing once he gets adopted. Because he is a senior at 8 years old, you could adopt Tank for a fee of $72.50. Our next dog is Capone, another one of our big guys. He weighs about 70 pounds approximately, and he's been with us for a while. Capone had a very high level of testosterone when he arrived, and so we went ahead and neutered him as quickly as possible, and we spent some time waiting for that testosterone to dissipate a little bit before he went out onto the adoption floor. And now he is brand new to the adoption floor. He's a 2-year-old American Staffordshire Terrier mix, and he has, as you can see, no manners. He is full of excitement and energy, and he is going to be a project dog for somebody who's definitely going to take the time to get him out and run him and play with him and train him. He's not a dog that's just going to come home and sit on your couch. He's got tons of energy. He wants to get into everything out here. That's how he's going to be in your house. He is color-coded purple, which means he does need to learn those manners and things like that. So if you have a lot of young kids, we don't really recommend purple color-coded dogs for those types of families. Usually we say approximately 13 and up, but it is dependent on the household and the dog. Capone, sit. He is just so excited. Now he's out and he can be interacting with people, and he knows that there's treats around, so he's just super excited. He has done well with other dogs in the past. The reason that he was brought to us is because the owners were moving, and they say that basically he's a dog. He chews, he digs, he's friendly, he's playful, energetic, he jumps on stuff, he walks nicely on a leash. They say that he can be a little head shy, which is what we call it, with the collar and mouth area. So some dogs just don't like when you go over top of their head. They prefer if you go underneath. He's definitely a little bit mouthy, so he needs to learn where he can and can't put his mouth. He needs to learn that hands and things like that are not toys. Dogs like this tend to do better. They calm down with routine exercise, so it's really going to be important that his new owner is providing him with all of those things. If you think that you have the time and commitment to give Capone all the training and exercise that he needs, and you're strong enough to handle just how strong he is, you can visit with him here at 1832 Rosemont Avenue. Our last guest today is Onyx, and he is one of the returning guests. Onyx is still available for adoption. However, he's not on our general adoption floor right now. If you wanted to see Onyx, we would ask that you schedule an appointment, and then somebody from the staff will be able to show him to you. You can be able to talk to him and things like that. Onyx is still very much a puppy. He's just under a year old. He's hitting about the 10 and a half, 11-month-old mark right about now. And as he's been here, we've discovered that he's a super sweet, goofy, typical puppy, but he also has some other issues that we're working on training him with. So he can be a little bit possessive with his food and with his toys. So we have some volunteers that are really working with him so that he starts to learn. A lot of dogs, maybe if somebody is taking things away from him, they start to feel like, oh, somebody's always going to take things away from him. So we're trying to show him that he doesn't have to worry about protecting his things that are his. So he will get things back. So we're teaching him to drop it. We're teaching him to trade toys for other toys or toys for food, so that he doesn't feel like he needs to be protecting all of his things. And while we're working on him with those things, we just don't have him on the general adoption floor. He is making a lot of really good progress, and he's learning to drop it, and he's still being super affectionate and playful. He loves to play catch. You know, his reward a lot of times is a life reward. You know, he brings his toy back and he drops it, and he doesn't, you know, then you throw the ball and he can chase after it again. So he needs an owner who is going to be committed to continuing the training with him, and is definitely going to be understanding of that. Homes for children, as far as children with dogs like this, we are recommending 16 and up. He does pretty well with food with an actual person's hand, but with the fake hand that we use for testing, he didn't do really well with that. So you want to make sure that you're reading his profile completely and making a great educated guess. He has educated decision, excuse me. He has a lot of potential, but he does need somebody who's going to be committed to furthering his training and really working with him. If you wanted to visit with him again, you can stop by the front desk and ask to make an appointment to visit with Onyx. We hope that you enjoyed meeting all of these great adoptable animals today on the show. As always, there are many more that we have not been able to showcase today. If you didn't see something that you think will be a good fit for your family, you can always stop in and visit with us here. And we look forward to seeing you here in the shelter, and we hope that you tune in again next week for Pet Pals.
Hi, I'm Tracy, and this is Catherine. We are Frederick County 911 dispatchers, and we're here to tell you what to expect when dialing 911.
We're on the line to listen, and we also have important instructions to give you. Your 911 operator needs to get essential information from you as quickly as possible by asking the following questions in this order.
What is the address of the emergency so we can send the right help to the right location? What is the phone number you're calling from? If the line disconnects, we may need to call you back. What is your name so we can address you properly? And tell me exactly what happened. Asking these questions allows operators to start dispatch to emergencies quickly.
Your 911 operator is often working closely with one or more dispatchers, obtaining important information which is relayed to responders who are on the way to your location while you are still on the phone.
This process is repeated on each call to ensure responders get to each emergency as quickly and safely as possible with the right information to provide the best service they can.
Law enforcement, fire and rescue, and other responders rely on 911 operators and dispatchers to obtain specific information that varies with each type of call. Sometimes it may seem as though your 911 operator is asking a series of unnecessary questions, but in fact this information is vital for getting the right help sent to the right place. Often, help is already on the way while your 911 operator is talking to you.
While emergency crews are responding, dispatchers continue to provide them with updated information gathered by your 911 operator.
Also, your 911 operator may be able to provide you with important life-saving direction, from how to safely exit a building on fire to CPR instruction, providing important information for staying safe and out of danger during a vehicle accident, as well as helping a caller deliver a baby.
For more information, visit frederickcountymd.gov/911 or call the non-emergency number at 301-600-1603.